Oh, look at this. Oh boy, a traditional buck. I think we found our prospect. Here we go. You guys are so cute. Kenny, put your... Paisley does not like this kitten at all. Good morning. We had 2 does kid last night. Of course, I worked a really long day yesterday, and in the last hour that I was there, I saw 2 of them kid. My husband was home, but there were no troubles. They did a good job. So Paisley kidded. She had triplets. It's gonna take a while for everything to kind of like move up and go back to normal. Plus her room is probably pretty empty just because she's been hanging out with the kids all night. Let's see if they can figure it out. All 3 of these kids have, like, they're very vigorous, but they like cannot find her teats at all. Paisley's also kind of a low rider. Those first like 3 days, her udder's so full and has edema in it, so it hangs pretty low. I ended up tubing all 3 of them last night because I was like, we're approaching the 2-hour mark and you need to just get colostrum in you. So, and it was so thick. I actually found some colostrum in the freezer from last year that was much thinner. So I thawed that out and like added it because it was so thick that it was like pudding coming out of her. And I was like, I'm never gonna get this down them. And it was really difficult to milk out. Paisley's our oldest doe in the herd. She's the very first replacement doe I ever kept back out of my 2 original does. And she has lots of daughters in our herd. Actually, not as many as you'd think. She has given birth to a lot of bucks. But, oh, hi, Peanut. Peanut's bugging me for some attention here. At the end of their gestation, they get really lovey-dovey, so they're all at me. And then, this doe kidded here. So this is an interesting doe because her first lactation, both of her kids were stark white and had wattles. And I was like, wattles? So she's mostly Savannah, and I think she's got a little bit of boar in her because I think her sire was like a boar Savannah cross. I'd have to look back. But the first one she had wattles, and I was like, what the heck? And I had like texted the breeder that I got her from, and she looked back, and 4 generations back, she had a Kiko with wattles that she would have been related to. She's like, that's the only thing I can think of. And then her last lactation, neither of them had wattles. They were normal. They looked like boars. And now she has one of these little guys. So this is her doeling. You're very cute. She's got like a little stubby wattle. One stubby wattle. You're adorable. And then this is her little buckling. But these guys are like solid. They have like really thick necks. They look small, but when you pick them up, they're like super heavy. So that's about it. I'm expecting this doe to be the next one here to kid. I would expect that today, in the next 24 hours here. What are we doing? Hey, don't mess up your collar. Her and then her sister, I don't have breeding dates for. And then I also don't have a breeding date for her. But they all look really close. So I'm thinking soon. It's Saturday today. Over the weekend here, I'd expect at least 2 or 3 more to kid. Good morning. We only had 1 set of kids born yesterday. I pretty much missed both of it. I was Outback moving cattle, and my husband called me and said, "You got one kidding?" And by the time I got down here, she had it, and then I literally turned around and the next one flopped out of her. I don't think she even knew she had it. So Paisley's kids, I have one that's nursing decent, and they cannot find her teats. Like, they're vigorous, they're bumping, but they keep going to her chest. It's incredibly frustrating. So I think this little dapple guy has got it figured out. And then the buckling was nursing yesterday morning, and then all of a sudden, like, forgot how. Here, come on this side. See if you can do it. Yesterday he was nursing when I got out here, and then like stopped being able to find her teat, and I had to tube him last night. Paisley, you're not helping. The problem is the flies are kind of getting bad because it's been so hot and humid. And then as soon as they get on, she like kicks. Hey, come on. Over here. Alright, well, so hopefully that's 2 that can get on. This doeling here hasn't nursed once. You can put her right on it, she doesn't suck. It's really frustrating. She's convinced it's in her chest, and she just cannot find it. So I'm hoping she'll figure it out, but you know, part of the problem is now she's triplet. She's gonna have to fight for this, and she's obviously not a fighter. And I can't bottle feed her because she won't take a bottle. So she's gonna have to figure it out. Then I've got these 2 over here. This one has, can you squawk again? This one has like the reddest tongue and mouth I've ever seen. I noticed that last night. Look at it, it's so pink. Oh, you're cute. Yes. And this has really cool coloring that I've never seen. So he's brown, but he's got like black spots on him. I've never seen a boar like that before. So you be cute. You be cute. You're a tricolor. Oh, I have nothing for you to nurse on. The sister of the one that had those 2 little paints, I expect her to kid pretty quick. She was one of the ones I did not have a breeding date for, but she looks ready to go any second. The other one I didn't have a breeding date for looks ready to go, and the one that was actually due first, hi honey, sorry, we're still in like a construction zone here. This one was actually due first, and she has not kidded, but boy, has she looked miserable. It's extremely hot and oppressive. It's supposed to be really hot again today. Very, very humid. I feel like back in the 80s and 90s, we got nice days in summer. We've had two nice days this summer where it isn't oppressive. But we just, anytime it gets above 75 degrees here, it's just humid. It's like a sauna. Like, it's so heavy you can hardly breathe, and it feels like it's raining. And we just don't get nice days anymore. People think, oh, Wisconsin, you must have nice, mild summers. No, we have humid summers. So we just had one born. Hey, sweetie pie. So she was the first one due and still hadn't kidded. And all morning, she just looked really, really uncomfortable. And I kept expecting her to go into labor. She had no mucus, like nothing to indicate that she was in labor at all. And I thought, well, I'll give her a little time. I went in, I prepped lunch, I checked the camera, and she was just, I'm gonna say she just looked like she was in distress. She was huffing and puffing and just looked, something was not right. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna check her and see what's going on. And I stuck my hand in and there was a kid right there. So I have no idea why she wasn't getting the urge to push. So I pulled it out. Oh, looks like now she's gonna push. I don't know what the deal was. Are you pushing? All right, let me set this down. I'll go get my good tripod. So even that kid looks distressed to me. It's like huffing and puffing. You got it? Do you want me to come look, or are you gonna, you got it yourself? Uh-oh. There's too many legs. Just gotta push a little bit, huh? Another one. Some interesting looking kids here. Little girl, little buck. Hold on. Oh boy, a traditional buck. I think we found our prospect. Good girl, Mom. Okay. Are you breathing? There we go. Good job, Mom. He's not breathing great. Let me work on him. So this little guy is breathing decent now. Hi, can I show him? So I've got him in a recovery position. So it's where you put them up with their front legs bent back and their back legs all the way up to their neck. That kind of opens up their rib cage and allows more room, and helps them if they need to like snork some stuff out. That's the easiest position. If you let them flap over on their sides, it's more difficult for them to breathe, and they just kind of don't have a will to live. They just want to flap over and die. He's breathing, he's taking really shallow breaths, but I think he'll be okay. I'm gonna just give them some time, give mom to work on them. The one's up trying to nurse already, and the other ones are, I think, just need a breather. They all seem a little distressed, so she actually must have been in labor this whole time and just didn't really show any of the normal signs. I like to see them kid on their own, so I try not to intervene early, because obviously there's always potential problems. Not big risk, it's minimal. Oh, the second one is getting up now, so we'll let her nurse those. It's like 2:30 and neither of us have eaten breakfast today, and I'm finally gonna make the supper that I had prepped last night. And then both of us felt so yucky and gross, and from the heat and humidity last night, we weren't even hungry, so I never ended up making it. So we're gonna go and eat breakfast now. Good morning. I'm bringing you along for my early morning check. I don't normally pick up my camera, you know, bags around my eyes. I'm still got a pajama shirt on. I don't usually really dress for the occasion. I got flip-flops on, unless I really think somebody's kidding. But I had quite a few were eating inside, but there's a few that I couldn't see on my camera, so I just want to come out and check them out, see what I can't see from the camera. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. How'd you two get in there? You're stuck in the greenhouse. Hi. What are you all doing in here? Scoot out. Scoot out. Oh my gosh. These are tanks. Your moms are upset. Come on. There you go. 2 for you. And 1 for you. I'll have to work on blocking that off a little more. I have wire that goes, I mean, pretty much down to the ground. So I'm not sure how they got in there, but I'll put that on my list of things to do today. This is by far the worst humidity I have felt so far. It's 5 o'clock and I can hardly breathe already. Plus, on top of all the humidity we've had for the last 2 weeks, we've had all the smoke from those Canadian wildfires coming down. It's shocking to me that smoke can travel that far. I mean, we've had days where it looks like it's just plain foggy and it's smoke. So between the humidity and the smoke, my sinuses are not happy. She has not laid down yet that I have seen. These kids have been relentlessly nursing, and when they decide to lay down, she gets them up. This little guy, he still needed a little bit of help last night getting on. I honestly thought it would take him longer because he was really pretty dopey when he was born. I thought he was maybe deprived of oxygen a little bit. He seemed not okay. I actually also thought he had maybe aspirated some amniotic fluid, but he seems to be doing all right. Judging by the cameras, it looks like he was nursing on his own without help getting on, so we'll keep an eye on him and just make sure that he can. I'm gonna go in and have my coffee, and I have kind of a morning routine. And when I come out to do chores, I will pull her kids out of there, close it up, let that pen dry out for the next one. I I just wonder if maybe I can get her out of there, if she'll go lay down and relax. Uh-oh. Kenny, put your... Paisley does not like this kitten at all. In her defense, he is not aware. He comes by these kids and like, oh, these kids will want to play with me. And Paisley doesn't even like her kids to be friends with other kids. Like, she kind of hoards them to herself. And she's like, no, you can't be friends. Right? You don't like your kids to have friends. You want them to love you and you alone. He did get nailed yesterday or the day before. She just bashed him. But he's dumb enough to come right back 30 seconds later, so it's hard to feel sorry for him. Are you playing in a hole, Kenny? Clarence over there, he's a lot smarter, right, Clarence? He says, yeah, I can tell the goats don't like me in there, so I just stay out of the pen. You just stay out of the pen. All right, I'm back out to chores. I am not gonna do anything extra today. One thing I really need to get done today that I hope I can is I have fence set up all through the neighbor's woods because I had kind of the main group grazing off that whole fence line. I am really in need of some reels. I tried to take them down yesterday. I stepped like 40 feet into the woods and was like, nope. The mosquitoes were horrible. If I need to put long sleeves on, I want to get that done this morning, but we'll see. Honestly, it's them buzzing around my face that I hate so much. I have a few reels to work with, but if I run out, I'm going to absolutely have to get those out of there. I also need to go, I think I'm going to add an extra T-post along the fence because, so I moved the cattle down into this next pasture, and in the afternoon, the only place they could get shade was kind of tucked up along real close to the fence up there. And when I was coming back last night from locking chickens, I saw that they had pushed the cattle panel way over. So I'm gonna pound that one in a little farther, refasten it. There were a few wires broke on the one, and then I think I'm just gonna add a T-post for a little more stability, because they'll probably be leaning on that again today, because for like an hour, that's the only place they can get shade. So that's top priority. I need to run up and see if there is enough forage for these guys back here in the section I have them in right now. I don't know if there is. I'm really, really hoping, because I kind of don't have anywhere for them to go right now. I'm trying to figure out what my next move is gonna be, and I honestly just don't want to set up fence today in this heat and humidity. Oh yeah, this looks like they got plenty. So the other thing is, they kind of get to this point and they'll get a little bit like picky, like, oh, we've gotten most of that and we don't want the rest of it, but I'm gonna force them to eat this. Looks like they have plenty. So I want to get my does that are in the barn grazing on the other side here. They've all got collars on, and they have been so like over it not wanting to go out and graze that they were literally eating almost nothing because they were so big and pregnant, and they didn't want to have to like walk that far. But now that a bunch of them are having kids, they're probably going to be willing to venture out a little farther and leave those kids for a few minutes at a time. So I've got this whole like clover area has really grown up with weeds, and this was where we like put some fill in and some compost this spring, and that's all super weedy. I would have liked to have them on it a week ago, but they just were taken forever on the other side. I'm just gonna stand over here, adjust their pasture in my app so that they can have access to the areas I want them to have access to. And then I'll open up those gates. Come on, girls, out. Come on. I'm trying to show them that I opened the gate, but they don't know what I want. Bordeaux, turn around and look. Look where everybody else is going. Ah, there we go. Pistachio, go. You guys have plenty of forage up there. But we want what they have. Okay, girls, come on, go out and graze. No, out the gate. Go out the gate. I mean, you can have this piddly stuff, but go out. Come on, go, go, go. Man, these collars just make my life so much easier. They are so expensive, but when the forage is tall like this, I mean, I would have spent over an hour trying to put poly wire over there around my garden, you know, fence this area, and then I'd have to get a hammer out and pound holes into the gravel so I could get a stake in it. I mean, it's just such a pain in the rear end. And now I can just open the gates and the collars, I let them go where I've given permission. Well, what, you don't like ragweed? Well, you better acquire a taste for it because there's plenty of it. Look at these two. They have blue eyes. You guys are so cute. So I've been in here cleaning the bunk out for the last like 15 minutes, and I said to this doeling here, I grabbed her udder a little while ago. I was like, oh, you're pretty bagged up. You're probably gonna kid today. Like 30 seconds later, she started cooing and pushing. And I'm like, okay, well that was quick. She's had trouble deciding where she wants to give birth. I tried bedding this pen and they keep like digging chicken holes like this one. They like dig holes. So every time I bed it, they just like grind it all up. So now I have like 6 inches of sand and gravel bedding mix. I gave up. She doesn't need your help. I'll help her. You only got one leg. Here we go. Alright, I'm gonna move her. All the other ones keep like walking over it and digging holes and kicking sand on it, so I'm gonna move her to the other side. Hey, hey. No, it's not your mom, it's your aunt. longer than I like to see between kids. So I'm just gonna check her out. Oh, well, that could be part of the problem. Okay, here you go. There you go. So the kid was right there, but its legs were kind of like this instead of like this. So like its shoulders are just too wide at that point, and it can't like get through. So as soon as I like pulled the legs forward, it kind of shot right out. Well, I wanted a few buck prospects out of this batch, and I'm definitely getting my wish this time around. The last kidding group was like 75% doelings, and this one so far is like 75% bucklings. So I went in the house all afternoon and edited video. It wasn't hard for me to talk myself into doing that. I'm just so sick of the heat. This whole week's just been awful. I normally don't edit video during the day because I feel like it's wasting daylight hours. So I typically edit in the morning for 2 or 3 hours before I even come outside, like while I'm having my coffee, so it doesn't like cut into my work hours. And I thought today sounds like a really good day to do that. I need to process all these kids. I haven't tagged anybody yet. So part of the reason I tag, right away after they're born is so I know who they belong to. But these actually haven't come as quick as I have expected. So if they were coming quick and I needed to get them tagged for identification purposes, I would have done it all right away. But we're 3 or 4 days into kidding now. 4 days into kidding now, haven't tagged anybody, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that. When I tag them, I write all their information down, their tag number, their dam, their sex, their weight. If they have trouble like latching on right away, I do weigh them immediately and just record their weight. That way, if I need to check the next day, sometimes you don't see kids nursing and you're not really sure if they're getting enough or not. You try to help them, and sometimes when you try to help them, it almost makes it worse and you think they aren't drinking. So having a birth weight for those poor latchers is really important. So if they don't latch well, I will weigh them right away so that I can check the next day to see if they're gaining weight. So I do have 5 of those recorded because all of Paisley's kids were poor latchers, and then Chartreuse's kids were moderate. So I do have some of those weights recorded because they were poor latchers. Then I also check their tit structure right away, because if they have like fish tits or like wonky ones, or they have them too close together, that immediately eliminates them as a keeper. I can record that right away, and then it's just one less that I have to look at later and wrestle with when they're 45 pounds. And then I also write down any just identifying marks, just so at a glance, if for some reason I'm not sure who they are, I can look who belongs to who. I know I've talked about this before, but every goat gets a scrapey tag Scrapie is a disease. It's a spongiform disease, kind of like CWD or mad cow disease, and we're very close to eradicating it in the US, and these tags are a way of tracking it. So everybody who produces sheep and goats is required to have a Scrapie flock ID and then tag everything that leaves their farm and keep detailed records of who they sell those animals to. In case there's ever an investigation, you need to turn those records over. This is just like piercing your ears. There's a male and a female end. It just goes in the gun like this, and then you just squeeze it. And I have 2 little helpers. How helpful do you think they're gonna be? Probably not very helpful, huh? No. Okay, get your claws out of me. So she is gaining weight. She is one of the ones I was more worried about. Okay. Uh-oh. No good under there. No peeping for you. He's gained over a pound already, so. And I bet he gained a lot. He is heavy. Yeah, he's gained over a pound too. I didn't get immediate birth weights on these guys, but they were chunks when they're born, and I'm sure they're still chunks. Oh, you're perfect. £11. Oh, you're perfect too. So this one is going to be a prospect for me. He's got perfect teeth. He's a traditional color. and he's 50% Savannah and 50% boar, which I like the idea of having a buck that's 50-50. I have one now that's 50-50. No kids out of him yet, but you get a little bit of hybrid vigor when you're mixing them. She's a really great doe, and her kids have always looked gorgeous, and it has just never worked out to keep one from her for various reasons. So before she even kidded, I was hoping to get a prospect buck out of her. Okay. Here you go, Mom. Okay, come and get them. See, they're fine. We didn't hurt them. Those last two that were born today, I think I'm gonna save them for tomorrow. I would expect at least one more to kid tomorrow. And then I'll process them together. They're drinking real good, so I don't need to weigh them or anything. I think they're good to go. I'm gonna go ahead and do my night chores. I'm sure everybody needs water topped off with some cool water. The goats are finally up there grazing. I don't know if you can see them. They didn't eat like all day. They were so hot. I should remind these girls too that they can go outside now. I really want them to get out there and eat the pasture, but they just don't want to like leave the barn and their kids, so it takes a little while. I really thought the ones that didn't kid yet would kind of go out there since this is so close, but they're like, no. So it's starting to cool down a little bit. I mean, it's probably cooled off probably 5-6 degrees. It's still really humid though, so tonight isn't supposed to cool down that much. I think it's still supposed to be like 80, which overnight is a lot. Next, like the end of the week looks wonderful. Like 75 degrees during the day and like 52 at night. And that's really early in the year for us to get down that low at night. I mean, that it doesn't normally happen till September, mid-September. I'll take it. The cattle are due to calve in 2 weeks, so I'm sure they will appreciate some cooler weather. They are struggling in this heat. The goats seem to do really well in heat. I mean, they don't eat much during the day, but then they get up at night and they eat, and they never seem that like stressed out. In fact, you give them shade and they lay in the sun. But the cattle, oh, especially those pregnant girls, are just, they're not having it. They do look good though. I was looking at them today and I thought, you know, they're all in really good body condition. As many like hot days as we've had in the last month. You know, they don't eat as much when it's hot, and I was kind of expecting them to lose a little more condition, but they're looking pretty good. So I'm kind of excited for calves. the bugs are horrible. I could hardly do anything. The mosquitoes and gnats are so bad, and then when you're driving on the four-wheeler, they go in your eyeballs. Ugh, okay. All I have to do yet is feed cats and dogs and rabbits. All right, I'm just coming through to do a final check for the night. Well, actually, I'll do one more because I'm gonna let the vent fan run in the rabbitry a little while. It's so humid, and it was really, really warm and humid in there. So it cooled down probably another 5 degrees now. So I think we're probably down to about 80. And there's just a little bit of a light cool breeze. So I'm gonna let that run, and I'll give the does one quick check yet when I come back out to turn that off. Everybody looks good. That doe there is probably the one I expect to kid next. Oh, hello. Peanut, I think you're having triplets, huh? Peanut's gotta come get her little pets. I don't know if you remember Peanut from last year. She's the one with only one horn, and she had that awful, awful foot problem that I didn't think she would ever recover from. It was abscessed all the way up into her joint, and it was pretty brutal, right? But you're good. You're 100%. Boop. And she's not scared of me anymore because for a while she wouldn't come near me because she thought I was going to touch her foot. Some of these other ones actually that are due after her look closer. Oh, hi. This is my other one. This is Riesling, who actually isn't normally that friendly, but is really friendly in her last 2 weeks of gestation. Hi. So her and Peanut have to come and get their love every day. Okay. These are the two that were born earlier today. Just leave them alone. They drank plenty. Why don't you just eat and then take a rest? Take a rest. You're parenting very hard. So I actually do not pull any of my triplets. I keep them on the dam. Ooh, did you see that cat? You better get out of here, Kenny.